okay? His breath hitches, muscles tense. That split second right before he loses control, that's your golden window. Not just to blow his mind, but to brand your name on his soul. Most women miss it. They're caught in the heat, the motion, the rush. But you know better. Because in that raw, unguarded moment when his walls crumble and his body surge in your words, your eyes, your voice, they sink deeper than touch ever could. This isn't just sex. This is your secret weapon. Let's get real. Spicy ladies. When he's seconds from climax, it's not just his body that's wide open, his heart is too. That's your moment. That tiny sacred space where biology meets bonding. Where a single raw whisper, "You wreck me. I've never needed anyone like this." Asterisk doesn't just turn him on. It rewires how he remembers you. Most people think climax is pure physics. Nerves firing, muscles contracting. But for a man craving connection, it's way more. It's that crack in his armor. That split second where his guard drops, his performance fades, and he's just feeling. And what you say in that breath, it bypasses logic. It embeds itself in his emotional memory like a tattoo. Why? Because deep under all that masculine energy, there's a part of him starving to know he's not just good in bed, but that he moves you, that he stirs something real, something primal. When you voice that truth, while his skin's electric and his mind's drowning in sensation, you're not flattering him. You're handing him proof. What you do to me, no one else ever has. And that's the hook. That's what makes him crave you, not just your body long after the sheets cool. Because men don't bond from orgasms, they bond from meaning. From knowing they've landed deep in your nervous system, that they've made you feel so much you had to gasp it out raw. But here's the catch. It only works if it's real. If you're present. Not performing, not recycling some script. He'll smell fakeness like cheap perfume. So when you lean into his ear, trembling, and let truth spill, you're not being needy. You're owning your power, showing him you're a woman who feels fiercely and isn't afraid to say it. That's not manipulation, it's magnetism. And it's what'll have him walking into work the next day, chest tight, pupils blown still, feeling your words in his bones. Now, let's talk eyes. Because when he's right on that edge body coiled, world narrowed to just sensation what you do with your gaze, it's nuclear. Most people close their eyes or look away. Too vulnerable, too intense. But if you lock onto his and hold it, you're not just having sex, you're soul mining. This isn't about some seduction trick. It's about raw presence. In those final seconds before he finishes, his control's gone, his mind's blank, his pure instinct. And when you meet him there steady, unflinching, you become his anchor. Your eyes tell him, "I see you, all of you, and I'm not scared." That's huge. Because men rarely feel seen like that. Admired? Sure. Desired? Absolutely. But witness it in their total unraveling? That's rare air. It taps into something ancient. Oxytocin floods his system. Yeah, science backs this. It's the same bonding chemical that ties mothers to babies. But here, it's amplified, electric. And it's not about staring him down like some dominance play. It's about letting your vulnerability show too. Letting him see your pupils blow wide. Feel your gaze quiver. Witness you needing this as much as he does. When he realizes you're not just tolerating his loss of control, you're choosing it, craving it, something shifts. His guard doesn't just drop, it evaporates. Real safety for a man isn't always soft words. Sometimes it's fierce acceptance. The knowledge that he can burn hot, wild, completely undone, and you won't flinch. You'll stay grounded, present, with him. That's what lets him truly let go. Not just physically, but emotionally. And that's the memory that sticks. Long after he forgets the act, he'll remember the eyes that saw straight into him when he had zero walls left. Last weapon, his name. Sounds simple? It's not. Because when you moan or gasp it mid-passionate as some performative pant but like it's clawing its way out of your throat, you're doing voodoo on his psyche. You're making this moment his irreplaceably, undeniably his. Think about it. Men drown in generic desire, moans that could be for anyone, bodies that blur together. But his name, that's his fingerprint. When you wrap your breath around it, desperate, reverent, hungry, you tell him, this isn't just pleasure, it's you, only you. And timing, critical. Right as he's about to tip over, dopamine and oxytocin are flooding his brain, his subconscious is wide open, hyper-receptive. Whatever he hears in that chemical tsunami gets branded into him. So if your voice shaky, heat-soaked carries his name, it's not just sound, it's a soul mark. Proof he's not just in you, but part of you. Right now, if you are still watching, I hope this video can help you. Your comments motivate me so much, so I can make more videos which you like. So hit that subscribe button and leave me a message. Let's continue. Most women overthink this, worry they'll sound too much. But here's the raw truth. Men walk through life feeling invisible. They armor up, perform, bury their hunger to be chosen. Not just wanted, but recognized. So when you gasp his name like it's a prayer or a curse, you soothe the ache he doesn't even name. You're saying, I know exactly who's wrecking me, and it's you. No need to scream it. Whisper it against his neck. Let it shudder out when he moves deeper. Choke it back like a secret. Just make it real. Because faking this, it's worse than silence. But when it's authentic, when it rips from your gut, you're not just sharing a night. You're programming his nervous system to crave you as the source of his deepest validation. That's how you turn sex into a legacy. How you become the woman he can't scrub from his cells. Not because you were the hottest or the wildest, but because you were the one who saw him. The one who made him feel in his bones, I am unforgettable. Here's the final section focusing on stillness and touch. Crafted for maximum retention while keeping your signature depth and valley girl flair. Most people miss the gold mine, those 90 seconds, right after. When his body's still buzzing, his mind's floating, and his heart's wide open. That's when your simplest move changes everything. Not talking, not performing, just being there. When you stay pressed against him forehead to his shoulder, hand over his racing heart, you're doing silent alchemy. His system's flooded with oxytocin, the cuddle chemical, prolactin, the satisfaction hormone, and that post-climax vulnerability. It's your runway. If you pull away to fix your hair or kill the mood with chatter, poof, moment gone. But if you lean into that sweaty, breathless stillness, you're telling his nervous system, this wasn't transaction, this was communion. And here's why it works. His biology is literally rewiring in real time. That oxytocin surge is physically bonding him to your scent, your skin, your heat. When you lean into his neck and just breathe with him, when your fingers trace idle circles on his back while his pulse slows, you're not just cuddling, you're cementing the emotional high of what just happened. Making his brain go, this woman equals safety, equals fulfillment, equals home. Now let's talk touch language. Because where you put your hands in those fragile post-peak minutes, that's subconscious programming. Most go for obvious spots, chest, stomach, the performative zones. But the magic's in the unexpected anchors. Your palm over his sternum, heart center, equals you're safe with me. Fingers threaded through his resting on the pillow equals this is ours. Thumb brushing his temple while he's breathless equals I see your mind, not just your body. These aren't random. They tap into what therapists call somatic anchoring, linking physical touch to emotional states. When he's drowning in feel-good chemicals and your hand rests gently over his heartbeat, you're wiring his pleasure to your presence. Next time he feels stress, his body will subconsciously crave that touch. Your touch, and here's the kicker, do it wordlessly. Let your fingertips say what your mouth doesn't need to. The quieter you are, the louder the message lands. What we just shared, it needed no review. As you finally untangle, Give him one last lingering touch. Trail your fingers down his spine as you sit up. Pause to brush hair off his forehead. Let your knee rest against his thigh while reaching for water. Then, go be a person, not a porn star. Pull on his t-shirt. Pad barefoot to the kitchen. Hum while filling water glasses. This isn't indifference, it's intimacy. You're showing him sex isn't a performance with a curtain call. It's a natural, comfortable continuation of your connection. What this does psychologically, it avoids the post-nut clarity crash. No awkward energy shift. Just seamless transition from intensity to ease. And that's what makes him think, holy shit, this feels like home, not a hookup. Because real power isn't in the fireworks. It's in the embers. How you tend them determines whether he sees you as a flash or a forever flame. Stay true to yourself. To all the spicy ladies, make life beautiful.